Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is staying healthy. I hope you're finding some time to communicate with family members and loved ones and reaching out to those that you've not talked to in quite a while. So it's very important that we stay connected during this time period. So that's the purpose of this video and these videos that I like to post. Again, I just want to share my experiences with mindfulness, how it's helped me, and to give you some tools that you can use during this time, not just for you, but maybe your family members. If you're one of the students at Pembridge High School that is watching this and you want to gather everyone around and as a family and watch this, that's great. But share this if you think it's valuable and you think it's helpful. My whole purpose is to really cut through a lot of things that you can read online. So for instance, mindfulness. If you Google mindfulness, you will come up with many bits of information, and it becomes overwhelming over time. So my purpose is to guide you through what I believe are the practical things that you can use every day in your life. You can get into theory of mindfulness. You can look at the research. There's much research about mindfulness in regards to helping alleviate symptoms around anxiety, depression, and just any sort of mental health condition, but also just how to live a calmer life and how to live a way of life that is mindful. And as we go through, you'll see that more and more. But again, reach out, look at Google. You can research and find videos, of course. But again, I wanted to put this information out there for you as a practical way that you can use mindfulness in your life, especially during this time period. So yesterday's video was quite lengthy, and I apologize for that. It was my first one, and wow, when I looked at it, it really was long, but I thought it was important just to put it out in a raw sort of a way, in a real way, and not much editing, of course. So yesterday we talked about anxiety and some of the symptoms, the physical symptoms, the thoughts, and your emotions when you experience moderate and severe anxiety. So that's the whole point of the activity, and it's a courageous one on your part because you're taking time to think about when you had moderate anxiety and when you started to notice it. And now you can start to notice the symptoms. And when you start to notice the symptoms of anxiety and identifying them, then you're going to have find a much easier way then to incorporate mindfulness along the way. And you're going to be able to name those symptoms rather than just experiencing them. So that's important. So many of you might have gotten a journal already, and that's great. We're going to start taking a log, making a log entry each time you've done your mindful check-in. So that's the purpose of today's video, is to really sort of build upon that mindful check-in. And it's a 3 to 5 minute practice, and it's you finding a quiet space. And I'm down in my basement right now, but you want to find a quiet space. You can be you could be seated with your back up straight, nice and tall, head up. You can be lying down. You could be standing. But just as long as you're comfortable and you find a nice quiet spot. So the whole purpose of the mindful check-in is to take an internal measurement, to block out external sounds best you can, commotion, the world, media. Just block all that out for a few minutes. Give yourself that time and to check in internally with yourself. Sort of like a barometer, just checking in and seeing what's going on in your body, in your mind. So with that said, I'd like to read something to you, and you can then use this audio perhaps if you'd like as a mindful check-in. So all you need to do at this point in time is obviously just listen, but again, you can use this later on. So I'm going to read something, and I apologize, I'm going to be reading this now. But this you can use during your mindful check-in. And again, you can find many of these audio clips on Google. But when you do take the time to do your mindful check-in, you want to make sure that you're finding that space that's quiet. So this is just a brief script, and I'll read it to you, and you can use this script with you when you do your mindful check-in, and then we'll go from there. So just bear with me here. So right now you're going to take a comfortable seat. You're going to start to close your eyes if you like. If not, they can be open. And you're just going to take a moment to breathe and relax. So take a moment to appreciate yourself for giving yourself the time and space to do this practice. Amidst the hustle of our daily demands, it's rare for people to consciously and deliberately set aside even a few minutes to just see how they are. Most people are more apt to do this for a close friend, their children, or their partner. Turning this generosity toward yourself warrants some acknowledgement and recognition. With this small gesture, you're exercising a shift, resisting the tendency to just move along and instead making time and space to take care of yourself. You're making and honoring an intention to see what's really within you. Now bring your full attention to the experiences of your body, your mind, and any thoughts or emotions that you're aware of, just as they are. There's no need to judge, analyze, evaluate, or assess your experience. The focus here is simply being with yourself fully in the present moment, without getting caught up in mental or emotional preoccupations. If a tendency to judge or figure things out arises, simply notice that. Then gently return to a friendly awareness of how you are. Continue directing your attention to the experiences of your body, mind, and emotions for about 3 minutes. As your practice comes to a close, once again acknowledge your willingness to show up and be present to yourself and for yourself, knowing that in this way you're contributing to your wholeness and well-being. So you can take that time and use this audio as your mindful check-in. Remember, when you're finished, you can perhaps do a quick log entry, write down what you were experiencing and what you felt during that time period that you had with yourself, 3 to 5 minutes of this mindful check-in. And again, remember, we're not judging. Don't judge yourself, please. It's easy to do. But just sit and be with yourself and block out external interference as best you can during that 3 to 5 minutes. So again, I hope you find this helpful, and I wish everyone well. Namaste.